Hello everybody, and welcome to day number 2 of the BCR Technique 30-Day Challenge. So if you've already joined me for day 1, then you already have the idea, the basic bare bones of the BCR technique. So what I invite you guys to do is just go down to the video description, and you'll see a PDF checklist that I actually just created the other day, and you can download that off Google Drive. So that will be your basic bare bones checklist, right? So we're going to be adding some things day by day to the BCR technique just to bring about more efficiency to it. But as long as you are working with that bare bones checklist, you're doing the BCR technique. So it's just a matter of being able to be persistent. Like I said, you may want to work with the BCR technique multiple times per day, because the important thing is that we have that fuel tank of love filled up, right? And that represents the love energy. So we want to make sure that we're continuing to lift ourselves up. We're getting ourselves high on the love energy altogether. So this is not going to be a very long video today. It's basically just kind of looking into a kind of elevator version of what we did the other day. And it's just a matter of going into the BCR technique just as you've learned through day 1, right? You've already went through the practice. What we're going to do today is we're just going to add a little bit when we are in the perfect space. Okay? So like I said, when you start off with the BCR technique, what is it that we do first? We work with checking in. All right? So we have a notepad, we have a tablet, we have our phone, and we're just checking in. What is it that we're checking in on? Our physical body, our mental body, our emotional body. Right? What things are going on? How am I feeling physically? Right? Do I have a headache? Is my neck sore? Is my shoulder stiff? What is it that I'm going through physically? I'm writing those things down. What about emotionally? How am I feeling emotionally? Right? If I'm feeling depressed, if I'm feeling angry, if I'm feeling sad, I want to write that down. What belief systems am I currently feeling? Right? What about my mental body? What about belief systems? Right? I still feel like I'm confined based on family matters, or I feel like I can't travel. Right? So these are again restrictions that we're noticing, and we're writing those down as well too, right? So that's the check-in. Then we go into capital B. What's that? Breath work, right? So you start working with breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the mouth, okay? And you just keep doing that until you hit the what? The wave of calmness, right? You're getting into that calmness wave. That's when you're getting into the capital C, right? And like I said, it's like you're imagining yourself just seated on a wooden plank in the middle of the ocean, and you're just feeling this very kind of gentle bobbing, right? You feel these very kind of nice waves, soft waves that are kind of bobbing you up and down a little bit as you feel this calmness wave. So once you're in the calmness wave, we switch the breath. We move it into a nasal breath, breathing into the nose, breathing out the nose, and just continuing to do that until we feel like that bobbing wave now just becomes completely serene, right? Then we move on into reinforcement. Now we're going to go into our perfect space. So as I was talking about in day number 1, with your perfect space is you're making this pristine. There was a question about, well, is it possible that my perfect space will always change? It's a form. So yes, form always changes. So you may have yesterday, for example, had a really beautiful space, but you woke up this morning and saying, oh, I got an even better idea for a much more perfect space. We call it a perfect space, but it's not really a perfect space because it's constantly changing, right? Perfection never changes. Perfection is changeless. But nonetheless, we're just calling it that, right? We can call it our heavenly space, for example, right? That's fine too. Or you can call it your Eden, whatever you feel, your paradise space, okay? So we may get an even better idea of what we're actually going to envision when we go into our reinforcement space, right? So now we're seeing a beautiful garden, or now we're seeing a beautiful forest, now we're seeing a beautiful beach, now we're on top of a mountain, right? And we're just putting these details in it. We feel it, right? We feel like these plants that are around us are alive and they sing, right? When I'm sitting down with them, I can feel this beautiful song of the plants. I can hear the song of the forest. I can feel it in myself. It's vibrating and it feels so strong. Well, that's what you guys want to do. You guys want to spoil yourself inside your perfect space. So like I said, I call it a perfect space, but it's not really a perfect space. Okay? It's your reinforcement space. So you're getting new ideas and say, okay, I'm going to put a lot more plants this time. I'm going to get them to sing. I'm going to feel the air, and it's going to be just so beautiful. It's like I'm just breathing in this kind of minty kind of scent. And if that's something you enjoy, then you do it, right? You have to look into what really brings you into the highest states of love that you can imagine, right? So when you're going into your reinforcement space, you want to reinforce all of these new ideas, right? So are there plants in your space? Is there other forms of life within your space that you are creating that just brings you into astounding joy? What you're going to work with today with your reinforcement space is I want you to imagine that your loved ones are in your space, okay? And these loved ones are of their higher self. So you are looking at the higher self version of your loved ones when you're in your space. So you just basically take a few moments to really just soak in your space. You get all that energy saturated into you. And maybe you decide to turn around, and there they are. Here's your loved ones. Here's your mom. Here's your dad. Here's your brother. Here's your sister. Here's your best friend from high school, whatever it may be. Okay? And you're seeing them absolutely in a state of delight. They are so thrilled that you are here in your space, and they're running over to you, and they're embracing you, and they're hugging you, and they're complimenting you. Say, oh my goodness, I'm so glad you're here. I love you so much. It's so great that you're here in your space, and you're feeling that love. And what do we do with all that love? That love is coming through our pores. It's coming directly and converging into our heart, right? So as we breathe in that energy, right, we're seeing that air kind of semi-transparent. It's like a soft mist. And that represents the love energy. And we're breathing it in through the lungs, and that's converging to the heart. And we're feeling our loved ones around us, and we're breathing in all of that love that they have, and that's coming into our heart. And what do we do to measure that gauge? We have a ball, right? We have an energy ball, and we're making it bigger and bigger and wider and wider and wider. And we extend our hands as much as we can till they can go out no further. And then what do? We retract. We compress that ball into the size of a tennis ball. We put it into, I'm going back to realignment method here. This is BCR technique. We're putting it inside the heart. I got the two techniques confused there for a second. So yes, we're compressing the ball into a tennis ball, and we're putting it into the heart. In the realignment method, we do it there. So I'm not talking about the realignment method. I'm talking about the BCR technique. All right. So Brad, pay attention. Okay, so again, we have that energy of a tennis ball. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out, and we're putting that energy into the heart, okay? And we're just sitting with that for a moment. We're just feeling that energy converge directly into the heart, and now we feel just this highness. We're getting so high on love, and that's what I want you guys to really work on, is you want to get completely blissed out in your love space, in your perfect space, in your reinforcement space, okay? Bliss yourself out like crazy, right? So maybe you need to watch some fantasy movies, right? You see these beautiful gardens and hanging gardens, and maybe just go into your daydreams and just say, what is a really beautiful space for me? Oh, I love the idea of singing plants. I love the idea that I can see like islands in the sky. It's amazing. I feel like I can hear this divine heavenly music in the air. Great. That's what you want to put. You want to keep making your space even better for yourself. You want to have your loved ones there. You want to feel them embracing you. You want to just hear them say how much they love you and how much you love them. And it's just love, 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 love. Okay? What we are doing is we are lifting ourselves up. We are putting ourselves up into this higher state of love and happiness and joy. And we're just imbuing that directly into the heart. So again, our heart is the fuel tank for all of this pure love that we're bringing into ourselves. Make your love pure, okay? This is something that you guys have to do. It's your imagination. It's your space. It's your love, right? So don't be bashful. This is your own space. You should just be doing this privately. I would suggest not doing this with anybody in your space right now. This is basically your space. You go into your bedroom. You close your door, and you go into this space. This is your time, okay? Should not be anyone else around you. It's just between you and your perfect space. And you're filling it with light. You're filling it with love. You're putting all that into the heart. Now that our heart is full, what do? We now start commanding the heart. We start working with our check-in list here. Okay, we have things written down, and we start off with the first thing. We put a little line through it. And now I say, okay, I had this headache. So I'm going to tap into my heart, love energy, clear away my headache. Let it be done. Okay. And then you take 3 deep breaths in. And just feel the activity that's happening. Saying, oh my goodness, I can feel it. I can feel my headache going away. It feels like it's getting thinner and thinner and lighter and lighter. And it feels like, this tingling sensation in my head. And the headache is going away. There you go. The love energy is there. So what you're doing is you're treating the love energy like an entity. Okay? It's your servant. That's what you're doing. This is a servant entity that represents the love energy. Okay? As you get more advanced with the BCR technique, you will learn how to actually feel like you're talking to an entity representing the love energy that's inside your heart. Okay? We're not going to do that yet. That's something for the days to come. But right now, you're just looking at that love energy. You feel it being filled up to the brim, and you're just putting that intention, saying, love energy, this is what I want you to do. Okay? So go to the PDF checklist that is in the video description. Okay? Download that checklist and just look over it. Okay? This is giving you the bare bones of it. So now you can add these nuances to your perfect space, right? Having loved ones there. Adding more to your space, making it very, very divine, making it absolutely beautiful. You should be completely in love with your space as soon as you see it, right? As soon as you feel it. Some of us are not quite visual, and I understand that, so you want to just feel it out. You want to feel as if you're in this beautiful space, okay? But also work on your visualization. Just imagine simple shapes in your mind, and just start rotating them, scaling them, shrinking them down, feel them, feel their texture. Right? So create some creative visualization as well too if you're not too highly visual. But if you're not too highly visual, work with your feelings. Okay? Feel yourself in this space. I'm not the most visual person myself, right? I'm kind of semi-visual, right? But I can still see my beautiful space, right? I'm going into a beautiful paradise. I'm going into a heaven. I'm seeing everything that is divine around me. I'm seeing angels. I'm seeing fairies. I'm seeing beautiful vegetation. I'm seeing everything that sings to me. I'm feeling the energy so ripe and so beautiful and so magnificent. It is 1,000,000 times more beautiful than the physical earth that I'm living on right now. So that's what you want to look at. You're saying you're using your own earth as a reference, and now you're turning up the dial. You're making it 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times more beautiful. You're seeing luminescence. You're seeing light. You're hearing sounds. You're just feeling this beautiful softness. It's like you're just laying down a cloud, right? You want to pamper yourself. You want to reach this higher state of divinity. And that's what the BCR technique is teaching you. Fill your heart to the brim, because this is what's going to bring you into that heightened state. That's how you're going to get high on love. It's like I said, the heart is your alleviator to suffering. Okay? So keep working with this. We'll have another update tomorrow, as we're going to start the TC technique tomorrow in day 3. All right? So keep working with this. Keep filling up that heart to the brim altogether. Okay? All right, so just checking the chat here to see if we have any questions. Okay. No, mostly just comments. So everybody's good. Everybody's good on the BCR technique. We don't have any quick questions. You're all feeling good. You're all feeling confident. You're working with this. All right. Another reminder as well too is when you go to the video description, you'll see a link to the Telegram group. Okay, so I've created a BCR Technique 30-day challenge Telegram group that you can be a part of. Okay, so you just click on that link, join up with the group, and you can ask me questions there as well too. You can offer support to others. You can just join the community of people that are working together with this. Okay, guys, be persistent. Okay, you guys have asked me to do this 30-day challenge with you. I want you guys to stick with it and stick with 30 days. Okay, this is not just some little game that we're playing here. This is something that is going to radically transform your life. And this 30-day challenge is going to show you how to do that. Stick with it, right? If you're very serious with this, stick with it for 30 days, right? So I'm seeing a little less viewers on here today than there were yesterday, okay? So be strong, be brave. This is not something that hurts, okay? This is something that helps. This is something that will evolve you. This is something that will advance you. But you got to keep working with this every single day, okay? So if you're in that perfect space, make everything brilliant. See the light to which you are. See the love to which you are. See the happiness that you are, right? Happiness comes from within. It's not through an object. So everything that you are creating is coming through your happiness, right? And you're making it brilliant. You're making it beautiful. You're making it wonderful. Get excited. Get joyful because you're inside this beautiful space. You've already done your breath work. You've already gone into calmness. You're now moving into your reinforcement space. Make it brilliant. Make it beautiful. All right? Okay. So guys, if you're just tuning into the BCR Technique 30-Day Challenge now here on day 2, I want you to go back into my videos. I firstly want you to start off with day 0. Okay? You find it on my YouTube channel. So Roy here asks, I'm a day late. Is it okay if I do an extra day? No, you're starting at day 0, Roy. Okay? So I want you to go back and I want you to look at day 0 first. Okay? Do everything there, and if you feel very good with day 0, move on now to day 1. Okay? You complete day 1, everything feels good. Now you can catch up with day 2. No doubt there will be new viewers that will come on here that'll start with, oh, okay, Brad's on day 2. So if you're starting when I'm broadcasting here on day 2, you're still starting at day 0. Okay? I want you to watch the previous videos and just continue to do it. If you want to do a couple of videos in a day, that's up to you. All right? That's fine. But start off with day 0. I want you to go through the prerequisite. I want you to do the breath work, and I want you to do the calmness. That's day 0. That's the preparation phase. Then you go into day 1, where you're doing the bare bones. Okay? You complete that. I say, okay, I'm ready to do day 2. And that's fine. Now, if you want to basically pace it out day by day by day, that's up to you. Or if you want to do a couple of videos in one day, that's up to you as well too. Okay? But just make it 30 days. So that's the whole idea, is just make yourself 30 days. So if you're starting while I'm broadcasting day 5 here, and you're just tuning in, then make that your 30 days. Okay? So when I'm broadcasting day 5, that's your day 0. Okay? And you're just working with these videos, and now you're going to start. So give yourself that 30-day stretch. Okay? You're not making it 25 days long. You're not making it 21 days long. You're not making it 15 days long. You're doing 30 days. Okay? So again, that's why I'm doing all these videos live with you, so that firstly you guys can interact with me. And again, you're just seeing this live about how the BCR technique, how effective it is, and how you are going to really benefit by doing the 30 days altogether. Okay? Okay, Anita says, can you direct the love energy to all 3 areas or only to one area? Well, you're basically working one area at a time. Okay, don't go into multiple areas at once. Okay, slow down. That would show to me, Anita, you're impatient. Okay, slow down. Just go through your list. Okay, you got a few things written here. You cross off one thing at a time. I want you to stay with that. It's very important that we're just doing one thing at a time, because I want you to focus on what that emotion is. So if it's an emotional area, right, we're saying where I'm depressed, I'm not going to say, okay, well, I'm going to take care of my depression, I'm going to take care of my headache, I'm going to take care of my belief system of being confined and not being able to travel all at once. No, you're rushing and you're impatient. Slow down, right? One thing at a time. Just go one by one on this list. I covered this yesterday. Guys, please follow the regime that I'm giving you. Don't deviate from it. Okay? What I have given you, you follow it step by step. Don't deviate. Otherwise, you're doing it wrong. Okay? Pay attention to what I'm sharing with you. Follow the checklist that I have given through the PDF and do it like that. Do not deviate. Okay? You'll have a time later on where you'll be able to add more things, and you can basically arrange things in modification if you wish, but not at this stage. Okay? You follow the checklist step by step. Don't deviate, otherwise you're doing it wrong. Okay? One thing at a time off the list, crossing it off, and then going to the next thing, working with the love energy. It's very important that we look at these things one at a time so that you're feeling that emotion of depression, right? And now you're saying, love energy, clear away my depression, let it be done, okay? And I want you to tune into it. That's why you're taking the deep breaths, okay? You're tuning into that and you say, it feels softer, it's good. And now as I go throughout the day, a few hours pass and say, wow, I really don't feel that depression anymore. It feels good. So this is why I say you're just focusing on one thing at a time, right? You do your breath work afterwards. And if you feel good, now you're ready to move on to the second thing on your list, right? So this is, again, like I said yesterday, we're checking things off, okay? So if it feels good that I'm working on that depression, good. I check it off. I give it a check mark. That means I'm good. If it doesn't feel good, I'm giving it an X. I'm going back into my reinforcement space. I'm putting more love energy back into myself. I don't want to see X's. If I'm seeing X's, I don't have enough love energy within myself, okay? I need to go back and I want to put more of that love energy in. I want to put it into a tennis ball. I want to put it into my heart, and I want to ingrain that energy into the heart. I want my heart to the brim of love energy, nothing less. If it's half full, not good enough, okay? To the brim. Your heart energy, your love needs to be to the brim of love, to the heart itself, okay? If you're looking at your heart as the glass, you're filling it right to the brim. That is absolutely important. Do not start working with your list if you have hardly any love energy in your heart at all, okay? Otherwise, you're doing it wrong, okay? Fill up your heart container. Fill it to the brim. Now, you can work with things one at a time, okay? All right. Okay, so Anita, as I said, just start working with one thing at a time. You said, shall I send the love energy to all three areas? One at a time, okay? So again, you're not loving, well, again, loving my beliefs that are dysfunctional, for example. Well, that's what you're doing, but you're doing it one at a time, okay? You're not leaving anything behind, but you're just doing it one at a time, okay? This is why you have a list, okay? Number 1, here's the thing on my physical body. Number 2, here's the thing on my physical body. Number 3, here's an emotion. Number 4, here's a belief system. Okay, if you got 4 things on your checklist that you have written down, either on a notepad or on your tablet or on your phone, you're doing it one at a time. Don't rush. Don't feel like you have to do everything at once, okay? This is not a multitasker's practice. This is a single task, okay? One thing at a time. You feel good? Great, check mark. Now I move into number 2. What's number 2 on my list? Okay, it's this thing. Okay, love energy, take care of this thing. Start doing the breath work. How am I feeling? I'm feeling really good, feeling very light. Good, check it off. What's next? Number 3. Okay, do you get it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. One thing at a time. Do not multitask. Okay, not with the BCR technique. One thing at a time. Okay? Thank you, guys. We're going to wrap up for now. And again, feel free to watch this video again if you still need some more clarity on this. Go back to day 1 as well, too. Remember to download your checklist, your free PDF checklist, and join the Telegram group. Okay, you can ask me questions there as well, too, if you have any more concerns. Again, be part of the group. Help people out as well, too, as you're doing this. Thank you so much, everybody, and I'll talk to you tomorrow for day number 3. Take care.